spike you get if you're diabetic is if you eat sugar. So sugar gives you instant energy. If somebody is having a low sugar moment, we quickly put some sugar in their mouth. No? Here, have this sugar. Immediately your sugar will rise. So this is the power in sugar. And what is our power? Baba's remembrance, Baba's knowledge gives an instant hit. It is so easy for the soul to digest this. There is no prerequisite to becoming a Brahmin except the intellect accepting Baba's Gyan. And within that too, accepting soul, Baba and cycle or creation. The minute you accept those three, what did Baba say? You're in. You're a Brahmin. Think of all the other studies in the world. You need to pre-qualify. If you have a guru, you need to give so much money, guru dakshina. You have to follow what they say. Here to be a Brahmin, so easy. So this knowledge is the most easily digestible and the most powerful tool there is in the entire universe throughout the whole cycle. And we get it free. Not only do we get it free, it makes the soul sweet in a second. The minute the intellect accepts the knowledge, Baba says you develop a divine intellect. In fact, you don't develop, you get a gift of a divine intellect. The divine intellect is the capacity to be able to build my personality. Today Baba talked about that, isn't it? Character building. In spiritual terms, what is character building? It's creating golden-aged virtues, divine virtues. So imagine the minute we come to Baba, not only does he give us such easy to digest food, but he also gives us the capacity to digest it and to create power from it, to transform ourselves. And what do people in devotion do? They keep sucking the sugar cane without the juice. It feels so sweet. Baba says sometimes they hear things, they're so happy with what they hear. They keep repeating it like parrots. There is sweetness in devotion, but there is no power. There's no power. You know, many of these self-development gurus of the world, really they speak better than some of our Brahmin teachers. You know, they're very good orators. And people say, oh, that's wonderful. You know, this makes so much sense. And then, how much power do you get from it? I was in Ipoh. We did a very simple workshop. We're going to do it today with a group from the public. And one brother obviously had some very deep sorrow in the soul, and he said so many years ago, I can't remember, I went to a workshop by one of those gurus in the world, and he said this. But it didn't create any change in me. I heard it. It felt nice, but no transformation. Why? Because the soul doesn't get the power in the intellect to absorb this knowledge. So now let's move to this other unique point that Baba brought up today. Baba said the knowledge echoes in your intellect. Usually he said the knowledge sits in your intellect. Your intellect holds the knowledge. Today something very unique. The knowledge echoes in your intellect. You all know what an echo is? So there are two preconditions to create echo. One is, the sound has to be in a contained space. Usually you get an echo in a very good room. which has those kind of acoustics, or you get an echo when you're in a valley with mountains surrounding you, and the sound bounces off various surfaces. So firstly, I need to create a container for the echo. Secondly, there should be no other interference of sound to create an echo. Otherwise, it will cancel the echo. You need to allow the sound to move freely without being stuck. So, what is our container? It is the intellect, a pure intellect. When the intellect is focused, pays attention to myself only, when the intellect is inward facing, we lock the intellect from the external world. We don't allow ourselves to be distracted here and there and everywhere. Then the sound of God's words, the sound of Baba's Murli can be held. And not only held, it can actually produce magic. No? Baba's Gyan comes, our job is to use it. And the first thing Baba said today is, you understand. What do you understand? Yourself. The second thing is you. How many times Baba said today? You study. A synonym for understanding is you study. Who are we studying? What are we studying? I'm studying the gap between me today and the perfect me. Every time I look at myself, I check. Sometimes we say I check and say, what would Baba do? Sometimes we think, what would a divine virtue be? Maybe you have a virtue, but is it divine? Is it unlimited? Is it so strong that nothing can shake it? Is it ever pure, ever powerful? Or is the virtue limited? Many Iron Age people have virtues, no? A mother has love for the child. But does the mother have love for every child? It's not soul conscious love, it's based on body consciousness. So, this capacity to be able to allow knowledge, to create understanding, to create personality or character building, through introspection, through my own reflection, at every moment, every day, check, 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 check. And if there is disturbance, it's okay, we're not perfect yet, but then find out the reason for that disturbance. Why am I reacting? And this is what helps me to build my character. Golden aged character, based on complete purity. Yesterday, remember those points? Purity and personality. Is my personality so pure that I get disturbed by nothing? And then finally, Baba even connected this echoing of the sound, of Baba's knowledge with service. Baba said, when you understand something, it makes the intellect merciful. True study actually means that I have the capacity to churn the knowledge to feed it to all the babies in the world. Yesterday, Perubai said something very nice, no? We package the knowledge very differently for different people. Baba sometimes says, feel the pulse. Can anyone feel the pulse? No. You need to have very sensitive fingers. You need to know what is it that every soul needs. So to be able to understand this knowledge in its completeness, in its entirety, to be able to use it in every possible way, to feed every soul of this world, to be able to give them strength. If I have strength and I can't give it to someone else, of what use I am? If I have capacity, but I can't lift others, of what use am I to Baba or to the world? So knowledge echoing in my intellect means not only will I think of service plans, oh, we can do this program, or we can do that program, no, how can I use this knowledge and the points of Baba's knowledge to help every individual in every situation? Because Baba's Gyan is the essence. And from this essence, you can create any solution. If you have sugar, how much can you make with that one ingredient? Huh? You can make every single dessert on the planet. If you don't have sugar, what do? You're stuck. In fact, some cultures, they even put sugar in their main food. Some cultures of North India, they put sugar even in their dal, in their curry. Otherwise it does not tasty for them. And even in South India, I've seen, they put something sweet on their main plate. And they will have something salty and they'll eat sweet with it. Right? Do you do that sometimes? Huh? I never heard of that in my life. I thought you eat the salty first and then the sugar later. So, Gyan, what is Baba saying to us? The sugar that Baba gives us can create the solution for the entire world. And if I use this sugar properly, if I use this Gyan, this understanding properly, it will transform everything within me. The only prerequisites for the echo to take place is I need to sit in my cave of introversion, of silence. I need to create a space where there is no interference of Maya. No being disturbed by outside, being distracted by what goes on in the world, but also not being distracted by my own remaining impure sanskars. They will be defeated, they will be conquered, as much as I understand them and I understand my greatness. And in this cave of introspection and silence, it becomes very clear what it is I need to change and how Baba's giving me the power to do that. So today, Baba's given through the Murli directions for the whole day. Lock up your intellect. Completely sit and use Baba's Gyan in silence. Silence means the wisdom of the stillness inside to talk to yourself, check yourself, ask yourself what is remaining for me to do. We don't have much time, we know that. And most of us have transformed a lot. But there's no reason for complacency. You know, when you climb a mountain, they say the hardest part is the last little bit, the steepest bit. And we have all reached that place. So check. Is there anything left inside me that can get triggered, that can be disturbed? And I'll take up more about this in the morning class. And we can do a little activity to check and see as well. But the condition is you stay silent until then. Really allow your intellect to be undisturbed by anything. Just look at the self and bring Baba in and understand what is going on. Okay? So more later. Om Shanti.